Hey everyone, you're with Matthew, you're at the Hub, and you're in the teaching instruction videos, which in the next couple of segments, I kind of want to lay out some of the foundations upon which our approach is actually to adaptive yoga is predicated. Imagine I'm 25 years old, I'm 54 now, and I'm trying to figure out how to do yoga through a paralyzed body. And that required my teacher and I to start to think about yoga differently. And that's really crucial for you as a teacher and for you to fully understand why it is we are trying to adapt sensations and not yoga poses. So for me, if you think about yoga at a real simplified level, right, in any movement or any mind-body movement, there is what you're consciously aware of, but there's a lot more happening. And this will be true for the rest of your life in every yoga pose you ever do or ever teach, is that the happening of all that's happening in the human nervous system is way deeper than what you're aware of. And part of what we're trying to do, what I think about as yoga, if you think about asana in particular, asana is the attempt to improve the quality of awareness as it moves throughout the body. Now, the reason why I step back and think about it at such kind of abstract levels is so I can see and realize other possibilities. So if I'm thinking that what I want to do is help awareness or mind-body awareness move throughout the whole body, then I can teach whoever's in front of me. And the quality of it can increase and improve. The different ways that we perceive within our own mind-body relationship can be refined, can be deepened, can be widened, can be spread out. And so when you start to think about yoga from that perspective, from asana in particular, from that perspective, it opens up a whole bunch of other doors. And so that'll open up why one of the things that we say is that yoga poses discriminate, but the principles of yoga don't. Another way to say a similar thing in terms of awareness within the mind-body relationship is that the physical body is going to vary greatly, and physical ability and even cognitive ability is going to vary greatly from person to person, from condition to condition. But the relationship, a fundamental relationship between the subtle body or more subtle ways to perceive within your body and outer action, that's going to be accessible to almost everybody you teach. So again, awareness of the subtle body will be another way to perceive within the mind-body relationship. And so you have seen other videos about inner awareness and the teaching of inner awareness. But part of what we're trying to do is train the mind, but more than that, and deeper than that, train consciousness, inward dimension, awareness of inward dimension in outer action, to become more aware of the happening in poses. Because much of the happening in poses is actually not voluntary. It's already happening. So, and that's crucial for someone that can't move. So again, let me back up and repeat again. Start to think and explore what yoga is doing and what you're actually trying to achieve. In asana in particular, you're trying to have changes that in body movement and action, if you can do it, that actually switches what you feel and what you experience. And it's the changes and the diversity of action that starts to cue the brain back in together and the mind to start integrating with the poses. And I know this seems really abstract, but I'm telling you, it's a simplification of what yoga is. Because if you can get closer to the hub of the wheel, and that's why we're called the hub, when you can get closer to what the happening is, the happening that is often not even voluntary, it's actually happening without your effort, then you start to get at the level of asana that is universal. And this is part of what we want you to get better at teaching. So again, to review, we're going to start exploring what the subtle body is, how it integrates with movement, what it means to go inward in your mind-body relationship, trying to make sense of certain truths that are in our training. For example, and these don't have to make sense now, that prana follows consciousness more than it follows breath. That the sensation of space within the body is a tangible sensation. That the subtle body resists your will. That the muscular action in a pose often disconnects you from the unification between you and the space around you. All these things are happening in every yoga pose, and all these things the practitioner over time becomes more and more aware of. And what it'll do is, if you start to become more aware of them in your practice of these subtleties, you will start to see the universal threads in the asana that can then be delivered to everybody. So in the next subsequent videos, you're going to see a whole bunch of subtlety and paying attention to that so you can teach everybody. Now, I'm really curious, all of you out there, like, everyone's got a preconception of what they think the subtle body is or what they think inward awareness is. We'd love to hear from you, because there's no wrong answer here, but you need to know that the inward dimension of living, of moving a body, is infinite. And there will always be an inside to everything, and the unification of the two is what you're striving for if you're trying to make yoga universal for everybody. So we'd love to hear from you on your initial thoughts on what the subtle body is, and we'll see you in the next one.